So what's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I am very relieved now because over the past few months one of our heifers, Daphne, she was one of the first 3 heifers that we got here. She's kind of started to fluctuate in weight a little bit. She'd go down and then she'd come up a little bit, then she'd go down, she'd come up a little bit, and then over the last week or so she just went down way too much for, you know, me to be okay with it all. I knew I needed to do something. I just, you know, it wasn't the grass, it wasn't anything. There was something going on that made her lose quite a bit of weight. What I'll do is I'll leave a picture right here of what she looked like when I was out moving the cows, so just 3 days ago now, and I was actually pretty concerned. You see, I was trying to figure out what's wrong because, you know, we have 22 head of cows here now and 2 llamas, and everybody else is doing perfect, everybody else is doing fine, everybody else is putting on a lot of weight. It was just her that was having an issue. It's not the management style, because it can't be, because everybody else would be in the same kind of, you know, condition as her. And when a cow gets thin, I do what I know. I went and got basic H soap. I did the wormer like I did, and I think it was just the last video that we posted. And it, you know, should have done its thing. And I did that 3 times. And with her weight she would go down and then she'd just come back up a little bit, enough to make me think, okay, she's past it. But this last time was different. I said, there's something wrong. So I was about this close to calling a vet, because it was just starting to get out of my, you know-how, or just what I can do here. I'm not a vet, I'm not a doctor, I don't know, you know, a lot of the specific things that go on with cows. I can only guess and do research and kind of work off of the limited experience that I have. So I asked my buddy, who's had cows for a whole heck of a lot longer than I have, to come take a look at her and see what he thought, what I should do. He said he'd come over the next morning, and that night I kind of went and dug deep down and tried to figure out what was wrong with her. And I'm going to show you what she looks like now. And here she is. That's Daphne right here. She's one of the sweetest cows that we have. She's just super calm, super, you know, just super nice. She's had no issues with any kind of, you know, she's been eating, she's been drinking, her energy's been way up. So I was trying to figure out what was wrong. And this is what she looks like now. Look, you can see from her left side that there's, you know, you can still see a little bit of rib. You can see a little bit of rib, and she's a little bit indented there. So she's not all the way back yet, but this is the best she's looked in weeks, probably months even. So she is on her way back up. I'm very confident in saying that. She's over there, you know, just doing Daphne things again. Huh, baby. So she's looking a lot better. And the reason why she's looking a lot better is because what I guess, and my neighbor kind of guessed with me, was that she had a magnesium deficiency. I'm gonna explain to you how I came to that assumption. Like I said, I'm not a vet, I'm not a doctor, but I do know how, you know, basic human mammal functions work. And me not wanting to ever go to the doctor, I just don't like them, I don't trust them, I don't go to them. That's just my thing. I haven't been to a doctor in 15 years. So I've done a lot of research. What, you know, if there's something wrong with my body, I can kind of figure it out. And what I've kind of broken it down to, and it's not me coming up with this stuff, it's a whole bunch of experts, 4 things. 4 things that cause sickness or illness in cows, people, dogs, llamas, whatever. 1, bacterial/viral. We knew that wasn't that because she wasn't displaying any kinds of signs of a fever or anything like that. With the cow, what they do if they have a fever, for the most part, they'll stick their tongue out. They'll go like this. They'll breathe kind of like this, because they're hot. They'll stick their tongue out and try and, you know, expel some of that heat. She wasn't doing that. That's not what it is. Second thing, dehydration. I know she's not dehydrated because what I'm doing out here in the afternoon, you guys usually don't see me out here in the afternoon, is I come out twice a day and fill up their water trough. She's getting plenty of water. I've seen her drink. She's not dehydrated whatsoever. Last two things. Inflammation and over-acidity. Now these are 2 things that I know she's not inflamed because she's dropping weight, okay? She's not puffy, she's not limping on anything, she's not inflamed. So it leaves me to over-acidity in the body. Now your pH has a big determiner on your health, and especially with the cows as well, okay? As humans, our pH is 7.365. If it fluctuates at all, then there's issues. You know, your stomach has a different pH than your kidneys. Your kidneys have a different pH than your liver. But overall, your blood pH is 7.365. Okay, a lot of things are caused by overacidity in the body, you know. Again, not a doctor, but you can kind of put 2 and 2 together when the real name for diabetes is hypo or hyperketoacidosis. What does that mean? Simplified layman's terms, your body is too acidic. You know, you look at something like gout. That's really easy to look at. What is gout caused by? Uric acid. And you can go on and on and on and on and on about so many things that pH in your body has to deal with. By the way, look it up. Cancer can't live in an alkaline environment. Go check that out, okay? That's why the things that I put in my body are as alkaline as possible. But let's go back to Daphne back there and let's talk about what we did in order to fix her. So I'm narrowed it down to overacidity. So I've kind of narrowed it down to where somewhere's overacidic. And with her rumen being indented that much, I'm thinking, okay, it's probably her rumen. You see, a cow's rumen needs to be 6.8, like on the nose, for them to be as efficient on grass as possible, and for them just to be as well as possible. There's a couple things that happen, especially going from winter to spring, something called grass tetany. And that is when grass is coming out of dormancy and it's growing super fast to where it just doesn't have the magnesium that it needs in order to support the cows. So what I did this winter was I got a high magnesium mineral, okay, and I put it in their mineral feeder, and they ate it and they were able to maintain their condition. The problem is that with that high magnesium mineral, because it's a mix, it's a blend, I can't have our llamas in with the cows when I'm feeding them that mineral. Why? Because the llamas are a lot like sheep. They can get copper poisoning. They can take in too much copper too fast. So if they were to eat that mineral, and that mineral has too much copper in it for them, they can die. So for about 2.5 weeks, I actually pulled the llamas out of the herd, and I had them doing their own rotation on a separate part of the farm. Well, wanting to get them back with the herd as soon as possible, because they you know, these are their buddies. The cows are their buddies. They're friends with them. They always lay next to them. They just, you know, they interact with them a lot. And you can tell that they're stressed when they're by themselves because they kind of wrestle a little bit more. So with me wanting to get them back to the herd as soon as possible, I think what I did, the mistake I made, was that I took the cows off that mineral too early. It was just too early for them to come off of it, and that's where Daphne started to lose a little bit weight. That's what these vlogs, these videos really do help with. Oh my gosh, I can go back from when we started the farm and I can go, okay, the grass grows in this season, this is where we can be expected to be at this date. The cows look like this on this date, you know, the cows were here on this grass and this paddock on, you know, this date, so I don't want to move them back there. I mean, it just helps. It's like keeping a diary, but just more in detail, because most of the time when I go back and look at the videos that I shoot, I'm not listening to me talk. I'm looking at the cows, I'm looking at the grass, I'm looking, okay, this is where we're at. Because again, still new to this, we're almost 1.5 years in now, and that, you know, just knowing, okay, we can expect this grass to grow up at this time, you know, in the fall, I can go back on those videos and I can say, hey, the grass is going to start browning around this date, and I can kind of prepare for that. So I looked back in the videos and I started to see when this issue started happening with Daphne, to where she was losing weight. And I kind of pinpointed it to where I took them off of that high magnesium mineral and I put the llamas back in with the herd. So looking at everything, because magnesium has to, you know, it helps balance the rumen tremendously and helps, you know, get a lot of magnesium into them. I went, I think that she needs some magnesium. I think she's magnesium deficient. And my neighbor, my friend across the way, he goes, yeah, you know what, you're probably right. He goes, I don't think anything's wrong with her. She might just be growing, and you know, cows are like people. You kind of go like this and then like this and stretch out. But what I did is I got the llamas out of here. They're out in the permanent paddock now, and they're going to be there for a little bit. And I went back and I still had some of that high magnesium mineral on, you know, on us. So I went and put some of that in their feeder. And this right here is what that mineral looks like. I always have a salt block out with them, and now I have this high magnesium mineral in here, and I put a lot in here. I mean, I probably had it up to about here, right here. And the first thing after I filled up their water and put this in here, I have a video on my phone of Daphne going right to it and going there and standing there for like 3 or 4 minutes, just eating, avoiding the salt block, but eating the mineral. So needless to say, that made me feel extremely good, because cows know what they need. If she came by and checked that, there is magnesium in there, she's gonna stay there and eat it, because their bodies will tell them what they need, and they'll take in what they need. And you know what? Obviously, that's what she needed. Because look at her. Within a span of literally 48 hours, she went from looking like this to looking like this. She looks like a totally different cow. I mean, I know this is her right side. Let me see if I can get on her left one. But you couldn't see that there was anything wrong with her. Let's see, let me get over here so you can see what I'm talking about. Come on, Daphne, cooperate with me, baby. Look at her. She looks totally like a totally different cow. No issues. She's not out of the woods yet, maybe. Okay, I know, you want pets. Okay, let me talk about Daphne while I pet you. But she looks totally different. Totally different. She's bouncing back incredibly well. I mean, incredibly well. And you, baby? Huh, you're always good. You're my favorite. I know. You always come up to me. If I don't pet you, you come up and nudge me, don't you? Huh? No, don't throw that. No, we're not throwing horns. We're not throwing horns. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. But Daphne, I'm incredibly happy with. Maybe not, like I said, out of the woods just yet. And, she could put on a little bit more weight to make me feel more comfortable. She could look like Ellie there and make me feel amazingly comfortable, because she's perfect. But for our worst looking cow right now, I think she's doing pretty well. Huh, baby? Got a little, you can see just a little bit. Not to where it looks like a xylophone, you can play every one of her ribs. So now I feel much, much better. I'm a lot more relieved. I mean, she's put on, it looks like she's put on 50 pounds since I took that picture. But I know it's not that much. It can't be that much. There's no way. It's just her body doing what it does best, and that's balancing itself with just a magnesium supplement. I mean, I feel dumb for not giving it to her beforehand. I kind of feel bad about it, but you kind of live and learn. I try and do my best with what I know, and always willing to learn, and always willing to try new things. And especially when one of our cows is not doing the best, or doing 100% of what she should be doing, hey, I'll be open to exploring different options. And it's just me taking it off of it was just me taking that mineral off of her before I should have. So the plan now is we have a couple. Okay, there's a couple different ways that we can go with it. I'd like to have the llamas back in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that magnesium supplement in the in our mineral wagon there that we have, and see, just see how long it takes them to go through that. Then what I'm going to try and do is, I got a mineral block, just one of those trace mineral blocks that you can get at any kind of farm store, and I'm going to put that in there along with the salt block. So hopefully, because that mineral block does have magnesium in it, I'm going to add maybe a couple other blocks too. That's a different video. But hopefully that works to where, okay, she's taking enough magnesium, she's able to balance herself out. Maybe she doesn't need as much. So gonna put the mineral block in there to where she does get, she does get some magnesium throughout the entire course of the year. We'll probably just stick with those blocks if they work. Now, if we're able to do that, we're able to bring the llamas back in. If that doesn't work, if she starts to lose weight again, I gotta pull them out and I gotta go back to this mineral. And then we'll reevaluate and see what we're gonna do about Daphne's problem, because if all the other cows aren't having the issue and it's just her needing this mineral, we'll have to decide the direction that we go as far along those lines. But I think that'll work. We'll take that mineral off once that's done, put the trace mineral in there. She'll be able to hold on to her weight. The llamas will be in here. Now the llamas, they're able to be in here with that mineral block because llamas don't lick. Weird enough, llamas and alpacas don't lick stuff. For them to take in any kind of mineral, it has to be in powder form, and they kind of have to eat it. They have to, like, kind of chew on it or whatever. They don't lick. But with that, we're still going to keep a really close eye on her. We're still going to move the cows every day, so I got eyes on her at least minimum once a day, but I have eyes on her multiple times a day to where I can see, okay, what's going on. But I'm 95% sure that we got this thing figured out and we'll be able to kick this, so I'm really happy because, Daphne, one of our first 3, and I know you're not supposed to get attached to livestock and stuff, but, with the heifer that we got with the intention of her being here, hopefully 20 plus years, you can get a little bit attached, and as sweet as she is and how pretty of a cow she is, you go, okay, That's one of my favorite ones. So hopefully we have no more issues, and hopefully we don't have too many more issues like that in the future. But to continue following along on this journey with us, hit that subscribe button down below, ring the notification bell so you get notified when we put up new videos. Hit the like button because it really does help with the YouTube algorithm, and drop a comment if you like, all right? Until next time, see ya, bye.